Who let the dogs out? Who did Chris let the dogs out? You excited, brother?
No.
Critter's back.
He was playing last week.
Ladies and
That's the beauty of
gentlemen,
his
welcome to the Back Yourself podcast here on a Tuesday evening. Just checked out team list and I can confirm Penrith are 1-17. What a fortunate club they are as they continue their fucking voyage of a 70th straight premiership. But will there be a bump in the road? Probably not. But we will explain to you every single fucking angle because there's not every single match to talk about this week. None of this 8 game, not even 4 games. We are left with only two next week, and then the big dance is around the corner. And there is some fucking controversy as far as the schedule goes because these cunts... You know what? Instead of Sunday, why don't they just play on Wednesday and then play the grand final 2 days later?
You know what's interesting? I genuinely
Incredible
this week I missed nights.
I've missed a lot of... Nights was not one of them.
No, nights are up
because nights and finals footy just doesn't even compute in my brain.
Remember, they were in the finals.
Yeah?
Yeah, they were.
I think Knights would lose in the finals of the NRLW right now, the way those motherfuckers were playing.
Knights, the NRLW.
I'm not doing a podcast about Knights, all right? Because we got fucking big fish to fry. How are you feeling, mate? How are you feeling? Obviously, a lot of shit went down last round.
There's only one game this week, right?
Yeah. Bulldogs are playing. Shout out to you, Matthew, the greatest team of all time. They're going to do it again, mate. It's Penrith v. Penrith 2.0.
But the Penrith players aren't playing for the other team.
But look, none of this second chance bullshit. This is win or go home. And the pleasure of winning this round gets you an invitation to Brisbane or to Melbourne, which will be 2 very difficult fucking tasks once they get there. But they got to get there first. And first on the fucking menu is the Cronulla Sharks going to Canberra to take on what's left of the Raiders. Not that they have any players missing, but the morale's probably low in Canberra after Reece Walsh put a dagger into their season. And let's have a look at what is happening on the team list side of things. The Canberra Raiders are running out the same 17 guys that essentially got destroyed by Reece Walsh after the 94th minute epic thriller in Manila. On the Sharkies side, Tom Hazelton is listed among the reserves as he can smell blood in the water. He will probably try and take a hit up on the 10-meter line and score, but it probably won't happen. Spread of 5.5 in the favour of the Green Machine, the Milk themselves. And I feel like a lot of the discussion for this game, Chris, has to boil down to the relevance of last week. Yeah. Because in a vacuum, are the Raiders probably 5 or 6 points better than this Sharks team? Most people would say yes. But as the avid Sharks backers that you and I are, how do you see this one playing out, my friend?
Well, look, in my essence, will the up and rising team beat the team going down? And I just don't know. Look, I trust Ricky, and one thing that we've been consistent on, regardless, we put him fucking 14th at the start of the year, is that Ricky will never let this team come last. That was often what we used to say. Because Ricky is a fantastic coach, and he has a 19-win team in front of him, but last week is, like, I don't think any team ever, in Ricky's playing, Ricky's coaching, could explain what happened in that locker room after the game. And if they had ended up winning, it might have been, okay, paper over the cracks because they did end up losing that many, like blowing the lead, but they still got the win. If Fogarty scored, for example, on Golden Point, let's say that was a try.
They'd be fine, yeah.
They would be
with
flying,
the bye around the corner.
They would be flying with a bye, but people would still be like, well, they let Brisbane back in the game, but it doesn't matter because in 2 weeks they have time to figure it out. Now those papers are like, going out, spewing out after this game. And, you know, how many people, including myself, saying what I said in the preview last week is, don't you fucking lose. And they did lose. Regardless of how it happened and how good Walsh was, they did lose. And I think a lot of that plays into this week. In a vacuum, like you said, 5.5 is like nothing. In reality, if this was a regular season game, I'd be like 5.5, is that it? I would take Raiders. Sharks have not shown anything to be at the level of Raiders throughout the season. But in this situational spot, this is what you're technically betting if you're betting on Raiders. A team that can bounce back from maybe the greatest game of the year, losing the greatest game of the year in front of your home fans and winning twice. 2 scenarios they thought they won. You could also count Fogarty missing the field goal from 10 metres out. That's another win. But in hypothetical, there was 2 times you won the game. At the end of the game, in the end of the 80 minutes when Walsh missed the field goal, And of course, the try that they took so long to make sure that was confirmed and everyone thought it was a try. I still think it was a fucking Cara party knock on and Raiders should have got the ball back. But anyway, don't worry about that. The game's over. Versus a team that are the dark horses of the comp right now. Sharks basically made Roosters look like fucking Bulldogs. In essence. Sorry, Roosters fans, but you couldn't score at all. And a team that we said we respect the Sharks' defense is playing, and I said this last podcast and you didn't agree. Right now, I would say they're playing a less attacking side. Raiders are a great overall team, but just offensively, they're not as good as Roosters. So if you just put that together, you'd be like, well, Sharks should be able to hold them out. I think it comes down to the forward pack, and it comes down to the first 20 minutes, and Adam Fanua-Blake needs to fucking basically be God, because he needs to stop this rampaging forward pack in the first 20. I'm not worried about when the bench comes on. Cronulla's bench yet again, Mack truck airbags, as we like to say. Talakai, Hazelton, Hamlin-Uele, and Nakora. I mean, one thing that Raiders do have a blip in their radar is when their dumbass forwards coming off the bench, and Sharks will not let up for 80 minutes with that forward pack coming on. And I just think they're rising. I can't lay 5 points with this team. Do I think it's the right side taking Sharks? Probably not if you take it out and take a vacuum. But in this particular situation, Raiders downslope off their loss last week, and Sharks high-flying, and I'm going to take the high-flying team with the points. I think Sharks can win this game and essentially book a date with Melbourne where they're going to be 10.5. We're going to say back it, and they're going to lose 270-0 as we do every other year. So I'll take the Sharks in this spot.
I guess when we're looking at taking points or laying points, and we're discussing a line like 5.5, or even, you know what, let's play the hypothetical of last week, Warriors or Dogs or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Did we think Dogs could go to Melbourne and win? Fuck no. So there was no reason to take the points with them, and we didn't. Did we think Warriors could go to fucking Mount Smart and win? Fuck no. Did we think Sharks could win? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you know what? Even if they had lost, let's say Hines took the 2 and went up 14-10, and Roosters go score some garbage, they would have covered it. Did I think Brisbane could go and win? Fuck no. And in my eyes, for 65 minutes, they proved that they can't. But again, Toilet Water Walsh came and put a dagger into them. So then I asked myself in this game, if I'm going to take the Sharks with 5 points, do I think they can beat Canberra in Canberra on a Saturday night? I got to say, I think they can.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they will like definitely go and win or putting my fucking hair on the line or anything, but they definitely can. And Canberra, they have had a great season, and a lot of teams go through ups and downs throughout large periods of this season. Canberra were up for the majority of it, if not all of it. We saw teams like Canterbury look like gods for 10 rounds. Now they look like literal dirt.
We'll get to them.
We've saw Sharks look like dirt for a long time of the season and now look like gods. Raiders have been the consistent side of the year where, you know what, for 27 rounds, they have been pretty fucking good the whole way long. And they were pretty fucking good last week as well until they weren't. And now they're in a very fucking deep predicament. Do I think Ricky is probably on a short list of coaches that I would want in this exact situation of, hey, look, boys, I know we got a fucking dagger put into us, but it's all right. We can regroup physically, mentally, get refreshed, and then go and take on this Sharky side that's in form? Yeah, I do. I'm very happy Ricky's the coach if I was looking at this from a Canberra perspective. Does it help a fuckload that both games were in Canberra? There's no travel involved. There's no, we just lost in front of our home fans. Now we have to go to Brisbane the next week. It does really help that they at least get a chance at redemption in the same building that they lost last weekend. But those are the only 2 factors where I'm like, is that enough for me to justify either taking Canberra at like $1.48 or expecting them to win by converted try? Where after last week, I'm not even convinced that, would I feel safe with Canberra again if they're up 16 with 20 minutes to go?
Because Sharks will throw.
Because I know if Sharks score 1, then Raiders are going to be in that mindset of, oh fuck,
we did it again.
What's happening again, right? And that Fogarty side of the field has been suspect throughout large parts of this season. The other side, I feel like with Strange and Co. And in the middle of the park, they're like we've been saying, you said it in the fucking preseason, they're the best forward pack in the competition, and there hasn't been anything to suggest that they aren't. Their forwards outplayed Melbourne, they outplayed Penrith and Mudgee. I think they won the forwards last week. They really have not backed down to any forward pack yet. So I don't think all of a sudden Sharks going to waltz in there and just run them through the middle of the park. But that right side is really fucking vulnerable. And the way Trindle's been playing, hilariously, right? Like, now that it's Jed Stewart and Tamale on the wings, I'm not sure I'd take a single outside back over any of the Sharkies ones. Maybe Weeks over based on form.
I was going to mention
or some garbage, but
like,
we can go player for player. Would you rather Jed Stewart or Sione Katoa?
Katoa.
Would you rather Sebastian Chris or Jesse Ramian?
Ramian.
Would you rather Iro or would you rather Timoko?
Iro, my boy.
That's probably the close one where Timoko is like an international, but off form, I don't think Timoko's had the year he had 2 years ago. And would you rather
Ronaldo?
Jed Stewart? That's not even close, right? So I feel like
even fullback, you can't argue. Kennedy's been great.
Yeah, of course.
But
like,
the whole year.
Some counts will be like, "Bro, Weeks is a fucking Olympic sprinter.
He could sprint." That's
Kennedy on a like play-by-play basis is more like I think he gets more work done for the Sharkies. So in a situation where the Raiders looked extremely suspect on edges, now they're playing a side that is built to actually take advantage of them on the edges. Maybe not the same way that Walsh took them, like stripped them apart for numbers, but would they have a hard time containing those sort of players? I think definitely yes. Are Sharks on the up and up in terms of their fucking, the word we throw around with them for 2 years now, are they confident?
Yeah.
For the first time in their fucking lives, yeah, they are confident, right? And they probably sat there on Sunday watching this team go tooth and nail with this Brisbane side, and they were like, fuck it, play 100 minutes, play 110 minutes. And knowing that, no pun intended, they can probably smell blood in the water of fuck, if ever we're going to go and, as 6-point underdogs, go and win a game in Canberra, it's going to be this fucking occasion. And I do expect that Canberra will probably come out and try and make a statement and convince themselves that they're firing up and they're over last week's fucking defeat and all that shit. And who knows, they might go out to a 6-0 lead. But as you said, when the Mack truck airbags start coming on, and we on the other side, we have Mariota and Co come on, I feel like the Raiders are actually going to wear down as this game goes on. And it might not happen in the 10th, 20th, 30th minute, but the closer the game goes to 50, 60, 70,
it's going to...
Roosters, Sharkies showed me last week that under fatigue, they have like an immense fucking capability of hanging in there when the times get tough. And as good as Raiders have been the whole season, to be honest, I hate going back all the way back to this round, but did we not see a copy-paste of when they collapsed the Bulldogs?
Yeah, same thing.
Like, same edges, same fucking way of, like, they actually don't have an answer for this at all. Like, everything Roosters threw at these cunts, and as you said, comparable attacks, if not better. Sharks had an answer for it. Sharks had an answer for Bulldogs the week prior to this. When they beat Melbourne, they had answers for Melbourne. Canberra have just been like, oh, we'll just, like, generate momentum through the middle, and then the other team eventually will tap out the whole season. And I don't think that this is a situation that they can just take advantage of a Sharky side that is playing with grit, is playing with determination, and sees themselves as potentially booking themselves to a prelim final. And who the fuck knows what will happen? The way Melbourne have been playing, they don't even give a fuck.
Yeah.
So
they will give a fuck about Sharks.
For that reason, I could only take the points with Cronulla.
Yeah. Look, I think one thing you mentioned, they're playing with confidence, which is a first for Cronulla. They're also playing carefree. At this point...
Confidence and no expectations?
No expectation. No one gives a fuck if they lose to Raiders. Hypothetically, they'll be like, all right, they lost to a 19-win team by 4. Sure. Sharks were 5th. Like, you can't expect them to win. But right now, Sharks will be underdogs every game, which seems like what they thrive in. They were just underdogs at home, being the 5th place team versus the 8th place team. They played really good last week, and I said it in the review, they probably were the best finals performance out of any team. And right now, like, they win this game and make the prelim, we would expect at the end of the season, if they do win this game and make the prelim, we would have expected they would have made a prelim at the start of the season.
Yeah, yeah.
And
but as the season
some of us would say, okay, they might win. We had them minor premiers. But for them to make a prelim, where we would expect at the bare minimum for Cronulla, yeah, they're going to go there as 10-point dogs, but they're playing the gods themselves, so you can't beat them. But that's their own fault. But if they make a prelim and they get knocked down the prelim, hey, what's to say? They actually did perform as expected. Can they go another level? Of course. Because when you actually look, especially to Canberra, you look 1 to 7, and the whole team, 1 to 17, go through the matchups of every single player, on paper, you'll be like, well, who the fuck, like, these cunts are actually going to win most of these spots. It's going to be close in a few of them, but they're comparable everywhere. The whole backline, like you mentioned, 1 to 5 is all Cronulla's side. You cunts can debate me, but literally all of them, I would take Cronulla's side. The 6 and 7, you can lean either way on both players. I think Fogarty means a lot more than Hines does to Raiders, so I would say Fogarty. But you could also say how well Trindle's playing, he can be comparable to Strange. And then you go through the forward pack. This is where the Raiders do dominate, especially with Nakora being on the bench. But you mentioned it. If you get through the first 20 minutes or you're down 6-0, very similar to how they played against Roosters, when the back truck airbag boys come on, the bench is 10 times better for Cronulla. All of these boys have played finals footy. All of these boys have been in and out of the lineup. They should just roll through Mariota and fucking Co. So this is where last week they had to deal with fucking Spencer coming off the bench and Connor Watson coming off the bench. These rep players coming off the bench, and Cronulla didn't look budging. Yeah, they didn't have territory, but it didn't look like Roosters could just go through them. And I don't think it's going to be the same. The Raiders pack is much better, so I'm not going to... They were the best pack in the competition at this moment in time. But they're playing a forward pack that, one, has been overachieving with Billy Burns especially. He's been playing great. But at the start of the year, we also thought this Sharks pack was great. You're adding a good pack with Adam Fanua-Blake. It was only going to be good. So I'm excited for the battle of Fanua-Blake versus Tarpany. That's like two of the best props in the competition. Just like last week, Tarpany versus Haas. It's exactly the same. So, but I just can't see... I got the Sharks winning this outright. I feel like it's a team on the rise and... At the moment, playing their best footy, and for once, it's come at the right time. Raiders, I just don't know what team could just turn that game off and come back with so much expectation as well. They have Penrith could, but they have the expectation. You know, a 19-win team to go out in straight sets is like just shit. And a lot of people were like, well, they just beat bums, and they didn't though. They beat everyone. It's just come at the wrong time, and they literally got walshed. It's a thing, I guess. You got walshed, and hopefully Walsh can do it to the next team come next week. But I just can't take Raiders. I can't lay anything with Raiders. If this was a pick'em, I'd still take Cronulla. I just can't. I can't take the Raiders in this spot at all. Yes, they're at home. Yes, they have the extra rest, but I just don't think it's enough to survive what's coming. If they played Roosters, hypothetically, I could see Raiders winning this.
Oh, yeah.
Only because Roosters would like play into the fact that I know what I'm going to get out of Sharks. It's if Raiders show up. And that's the biggest thing. Sharks are going to be this level. If Raiders exceed it, they'll win. If Raiders can't exceed that, they will not win. Roosters, like, it's just fucking like this. You don't know.
Okay, but based on how well you think Cronulla are playing right now and what the Cronulla ceiling is, and assuming that they go and play their best, if you think Raiders are able to overcome the garbage of last round, do you still think they will cover -5.5?
Raiders, yeah. I think if they played...
What is it about Raiders?
I actually think if they played like they did last week, they will cover 5.5.
I'm curious. After going through the lineups and acknowledging that Cronulla's backline's better, Cronulla's bench is better, they are probably the better defensive side, they're higher on morale. What is it about Canberra that still makes you think they can go and cover -5.5?
Well, what they've done all year and what they've done against the good teams. They were in front at Brisbane by 28-12, which is not easy to do. Way Walsh is playing. Yes, the last 15 minutes is the last 15 minutes. They led Dogs 22-0 at halftime. They dismantled Melbourne when we didn't think they could. They beat Penrith in Mudgee and Golden Point. I mean, those games can't just go unsided. And I know if they play like that, they will beat Cronulla. But in saying that, the Cronulla team that went there last time, and the most recent game is the Seb Chris Golden Point try, they weren't great in that game. And I know Sharks can play better. They were awful at that point, and Sharks are playing better. So can I really say, oh yeah, these teams are matching up with each other? What's also very key in this this matchup is always some sort of fucking high leverage, like very great match. It's always close.
Sharks Raiders,
no matter what, in Canberra or in Cronulla. So you also add that factor that these two teams are comparable. They've been comparable the whole time. But I think in this spot, like Sharks, no expectations. Carefree are playing a team with full of expectations and off last week. I can only take one side. And that's
I'll back
Cronulla.
you there, mate. I think Cronulla will win this game outright.
See you boys in Melbourne to be 10.5. And
Seen this movie before.
we can sit there and convince you
Raiders,
to take 'em.
if you were to lose this game, I would have mixed emotions about you cunts because realistically, for 70 minutes, you did actually back up your entire fucking resume of the whole season. You got Walshed.
And that's it.
And outside of getting Walsh, you'd have a home prelim against fucking Penrith, which I've been saying for 6 months they would have won that game. So can I go and be like, you fuck your entire season in 10 minutes to Walsh so you can't start like garbage?
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's the right thing to do. But at the end of the day, we'll look back at this season and be like, well, they went out in straight sets. So what does it even fucking matter?
My issue is, and I feel like Ricky knows this, and I hope he doesn't portray this. I said this last week. We got all these teams. Yeah, Dolphins will be better. Manly will be better. South will be hopefully injury free. Roosters will be better next year. You know who becomes worse? And no one really says anything because they're first, right? Are Raiders a top 8 team next year without Fogarty? We don't know. And right now, if you look at the whole 8, 7 of them, I would say they're going to make it. What Warriors are not going to make it with Metcalf and Barnett back. They were great at the start of the year. They'll make it. Dogs with Leo Thompson. They try all the regular season. They'll make it. Melbourne still have the boys. Sharks still have the boys. Roosters get better. Brisbane, we've seen how good they are with injuries. Penrith are Penrith.
And you know what? With Raiders...
And you're like, well, Raiders have an aging pack. They lose their halfback, and we don't know who's playing halfback. And we've seen that once they get one injury in the back line, they have to start guys like Tamale, he's a good player, but he's just not experienced. And their forward pack isn't that great. Like, their next generation forward pack is not that great. So what can you really say when you look at teams like where Fogarty is going to, for example, or how good Souths are going to be, or how good Dolphins are going to be next year? So Raiders, on top of that, Ricky knows in the back of his mind, you fuck this game up, we might not see the 8 next year. We're the team that is most likely going to be kicked out, in my opinion. So there's a lot of pressure on Raiders, and it kind of all came because they got Walshed. But sometimes that's how sport works. It's 15 minutes, and it's not just the season, it's the next 3.
It defines a lot of things.
It defines a lot of things. So because I don't mind Raiders, I actually like them. If Raiders win, I'm not going to give a fuck because I think they deserve at least a prelim final for what they've done. But if they lose, it really shows how important the end of the season run is compared to everything else in the regular season. So we'll have to wait and see. But my tip is Cronulla for sure.
Yeah, I'm going with the Sharkies as well, and I'm obviously that's the game that's most exciting this weekend because we're moving on to the Bullfrogs. Shout out to you, Matthew, Chris Carius, Tiam, all the boys down in the comments, riding with this team, even though most of you are not riding very much longer with these boys. 9.5-point underdogs they are to the masters themselves, the cocksuckers that run out in black every week and beat everyone, the pricks that have not lost the game since losing to Blake Taff all those fucking years ago and have not been knocked out of the semis or the finals besides when Cameron Smith laced them up as the greatest player in the history of the sport to take down these pricks. Are running out as 9-point favourites because you know what? 8.5 last week, 9.5 this week. I wonder how it'll be manufactured. They'll be 10.5 next week, but before they get there, they have to overcome the Bullfrogs.
They're going to overturn the Walsh call and suspend him.
Haas will...
Actually, just because Carrigan is suspended. Hypothetically, let's say Walsh got suspended. Would you challenge it?
Yeah.
You have to. I feel like Carrigan is they're kind of
fuck Carrigan.
They're fuck it. But you can't, if Walsh had 1 or 2 matches and he was suspended, you have to. It doesn't matter if he
I would
gets
challenge
2.
it if he gets 2. I would go to the center of the field and put a white flag on the floor and walk off. The Bullfrogs make a number of changes forced by the tragic injury of Stephen Crichton, even though he healed 8 days later. Matthew Burton, the Dally M Center of the Year, goes to left center for no reason. Lachlan Galvin takes over at the 6th jersey because he can't play halfback, Bry. Toby Sexton, God himself in sneakers, runs out at halfback for 80 minutes. Brunson Jerry has healed from the idiocy of him playing in the Sharks game. And Riyad Mahoney has been given the gratitude of returning back onto the bench as the
He won't be
17th
there.
player.
He won't be there if Critter comes in.
Marcelo Montoya is also part of the extended bench.
Why?
As is Bitcoin himself, Stephen Crichton. Ivan Cleary named the same 17 players that went and fucking raped Warriors last week. Woo! Penrith, healthy. Fucking scumbags.
I go through the Dogs lineup.
This is going to be very close to my heart, shout-outs, because
Oh,
probably
it's a 4-hour
it will be the last one that we get to do for the season.
No, can you do it at the end of the season review?
Well, when that comes, I have to do the whole extended squad.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I got my fucking some homework to do. Shout out to Connor Tracy. Billy Slater also got on the fucking Bulldogs flight to go back to Canterbury and continue taking notes from last weekend on how to play fullback from this man. Shout out to Jacob Carraz. Has said that he will sacrifice his leg and give it to Critter because he doesn't mind playing on one leg. So he's all good. Shout out to Jerry. Can you score against Penrith? No one else seems to be able to fucking do it, so I hope so. Shout out to Burden. You played good last week, which if you had told me that you were going to end up playing center, I would have said, yeah, that makes sense to me. Because at 5'8", you don't know how to play. Shout out to Rina Karma.
No.
The only saving grace of Crichton somehow going back in the lineup is you not playing this game. Shout out to Galvin. You are now, unfortunately, on -2 statues. So if they win this game, he'll go back to break even.
No, surely he gets a statue. They made it prelim.
He'll get one.
Yeah.
But his partner in crime will have 20 statues built.
That'll be too much.
Each player will be allocated to building a statue for Toby Sexton. And they will all get a private jet to fly over to England and rip up his contract in the English Super League because that's how good he is.
Jesus.
And that's how important he is, even though Gus said get the fuck out midway through the season to him. Shout out to Max King. Hopefully, again, blue looks good on you, just not the New South Wales blue. More the Canterbury blue, for the sake of the state. Bailey Hayward, he is not satisfied with the record of missing 14 tackles in the finals game. He wants to one-up it by not being able to tackle Somerton this week. Can he get -20 missed tackles? That's my question. Shout out to Josh Curran. He's a pretty good player. Shout out to Kickow. Who needs an eye socket when you can just run out there and try against Penrith? Shout out to Jacob Preston. He will captain Australian Kangaroos in New South Wales one day. Shout out to Salmon.
Why?
He knows the intricate details and maneuvers.
We might have to get him on the pro-season pod to see what these guys do.
As the man that was titled the weak gutted dog when he used to play for Penrith. Can he play like Penrith against Penrith? Probably so. Even though I'd rather see the back of him personally. Shout out to Kurt Man, Economy Bleeds Maroon. Shout out to Tupanoa. This probably is the week he will shoulder charge someone when they're down 50 at the end of the game. Shout out to Harry Hayes. He will also be alongside vice-captaining the Australian Kangaroos.
How's he playing?
He played last week. He played good.
No, I don't, yeah, but he's...
Shout out to Reid Marnie. He's just there as a decor, as a showpiece.
He's ready to build the statues for sex.
He is the statue. He might be the serving hot dogs in the grandstand by kickoff.
Continue, because you have to go through the reserve.
Shout out to Blake Wilson. I don't know what you need to do to get a run on this side. Even though Nari broke his leg in half, you still can't even get in the 17, which is boo all as me. Shout out to Turpin. We like you. Shout out to Sam Hughes. Even if you were starting this, you definitely would not get your hat trick. Shout out to Montoya. If for the sake of you getting in means Rinakama doesn't play, that works for me. And shout out to Stephen Crichton, the man that single-handedly runs the Australian stock market for the Canterbury Bulldogs. With the news that he's on the extended bench, their stock price went up 400% overnight. With just the sheer 1% chance that he runs out there. He has healing properties. He must have found a fountain.
This is unbelievable.
A spread of 9.5. What are you thinking, champion? Do the Bullfrogs have it in them?
No. I can name you... All right, let's get started. First of all, Gus and Sarah have lost the plot. Completely. Absolutely lost it. I don't know what to say about this team. First of all, Stephen Crichton should just not be there. And
what if he wasn't injured, bro?
No, he's injured. We saw him come off. Now, if he was healthy enough, in my opinion, he would have played out the game and been able to play the game. He couldn't even walk at all. So anyone that says he's not injured is lying. He's injured. Yeah, okay, he looks all right in training. It doesn't matter, right? Now, let's get to point 2. Let's say hypothetically he plays, which I'm going to let you get through all the hypotheticals.
Yeah, leave that with me.
I'm leaving it with you. I'm going to say how the field will look like on the day because I don't think people have processed this. So I guess you drop Sherry.
No, you would drop Runikama, play Jerry wing, and play Critter
Okay.
at centre. Or
No, wait. Whatever.
Or-
Right. Critter will play centre. Well, hypothetically, Jerry goes to the wing for Rinakama. And obviously, Critter plays on the right side, right? Or
Jerry plays left centre, Critter plays right centre, Burden goes back to 5'8".
No.
And Galvin gets dropped onto the bench and Reed gets kicked out, which is what the whole operation is, just to manage somehow to get Marnie out of there.
Anyway, regardless, okay. Whatever you do, I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll keep Burden at centre. The left edge, which is your only ability to score, will be completely changed. With Jerry playing wing, Burden playing centre, Galvin playing 6, and you cunts want to go score against the best defensive team we've ever seen in the last 5 years. So it's not a problem. Like, whatever, if Critter plays or not, there's no issue. I'm fine with it. It's fine. If he plays, what chemistry? Everyone seems to worry about their chemistry, but if Critter plays, everyone's gonna be like, oh nah, all goods, we have Critter. First of all, what does he do? Which we'll get to that later. Offensively, at least, he plays fullback for 1 or 2 players. Everyone thinks he's a sick cunt, and also he fucks the whole left side of the field. I can't see Sexton if Critter plays and Sexton gets dropped. I think there will be riots in Belmore.
No, I think they'll drop Galvin for no reason.
That also will be really funny, but
Or they'll drop him to the bench.
Whatever
again,
they're gonna do.
They can assassinate Marnie.
whatever they're gonna do is just. It doesn't make any sense.
You
to
know
me.
what? Honestly, for about 7 weeks, we've come on every fucking week and been like, well, what are they actually going to do, bruh? And they change it up every week.
So they might go back to the old team.
It's infuriating.
They might go back to the old team.
Sure.
Montoya will play. Jerry left centre. And Burden.
Okay. Why is Khan playing front row?
Because of
Like, what did Sam Hughes do to be like, nah, fuck this
Anyway,
guy?
look. That's my point 2. Point 3 is your left edge was there when you played him the last time. And to be honest, at that point, Penrith were nowhere near as good as they're playing now. And they still beat you. And I know it was 8-6 and Cleary Bread, I get it. But they still won. I just cannot fathom any scenario that putting Critter in this team will do any benefit at all. And at this point, just give up. Like, just take this as experience. And what I would do, personally, is fuck Sexton off. Put Burden centre. If Critter's going to play, let's say Critter plays. But put Burden back to 5'8". Because the best thing you can do right now is run Galvin and Burden in your halves with Haywood and Tracy, and at least get the team to have some experience playing finals footy. That's how much I think of Dogs right now. I would rather say you cunts don't have a chance to win this game. You may cover, and I don't give a fuck if you cover. You almost covered last week, but it doesn't matter if you lose finals games. And if you lose this, it's 0-3. And what can we say? How many good games have you won? That Raiders game, which we just saw what Brisbane did to them. Is that what you're going to hang your hat on for the whole last 2 seasons of you cunts being the most consistent, the most effort, the most trying out of the whole year? And Penrith didn't even give a fuck at the start of the year. You can't stride. And you cunts are 0-3 in the finals. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. If you cunts win, on the other hand, truly there might be a banner thrown here. But I just... I can't see it.
Like, genuinely,
so much is pointing against them. I just can't see anything going their way.
Genuinely, if they win, will you come on the podcast and cheer for them?
Yeah, I'll be happy for them. Like, I'll be happy that Penrith's out more than anything. Do I think they can get anywhere even if they win? I think they go to Brisbane and die. And we'll get to Brisbane later. I actually truly think they should make a petition that they're allowed to wear the All Blacks jersey in the prelim.
I'll wear it.
No. Just to make sure Penrith doesn't wear their scumbag the black jersey with the
So
gold
they can go
line.
wear the pink one. On
Yeah, they can wear the pink one. That's fine.
off.
I want blood. We'll get to that. But my point is, Dogs, like, I'm really not considering this even as a football game. If I didn't watch this, I'd be fine. I think you cunts will lose, like,
What's the full-time score prediction?
20-0. You might not even score. Like, what? Where? How? Where? Who? Actually, no. I'll give Preston 1. 20-6. Sure. That's it. That's the only player that could score. Just It's just awful. Okay, you guys have a kicking game. They have Cleary. Okay, you guys have a makeshift backline. The Penrith backline is better, which I don't know how, but it is. Critter will go out there on one leg. Kiraz will be on one leg. And I know what's going to happen. Montoya won't be healthy, but Critter will be. So your backline is going to be fucking one leg, concussion boy in Jerry, and Rinakama, your boy. That's going to be your backline with Haywood. Nah. And in particular, if Sharks win, I'd lay 20 in this game. I think they're going to die and just give up. And like the one thing about Dogs, which we haven't seen, and this would be a perfect moment, if they're down like 14-0 early, they'll just quit. You'll never see a bigger quit job than this in the finals. These guys just give up for no reason. They'll just be like, fuck it, we're just shit. And they are. There's nothing in this team that shows me that they can go win this game at all. Matt, everyone that got shouted out, sure, you can't think so, but in reality, there is nothing there. And it just shows how far you guys have fallen. And, okay, Galvin's been the poison, but truly, like, some of the last 7 weeks, 8 weeks, you can blame out Galvin all you want. If Critter plays as well, Sorrell and Gus, like, what the fuck? The last 7 weeks has just been atrocious from you cunts.
You done?
Why is Wilson not playing either? I just don't understand. Anyway.
He's no Rinakama.
Yeah.
You done?
Yeah. Outline the 3 scenarios.
Obviously,
what can occur?
Obviously, Chris, we make a good partnership on this podcast because,
you'll die.
Generally speaking,
yeah.
You are very emotionally invested in the NRL. You back yourself more so than anyone, and regardless of how ridiculous or astronomical some of your calls or predictions are claimed by the world, you back them, and everyone loves you for that, and I respect you for that. And I'm generally considered the more rational thinking, or should it be 5.5 or 6.5 kind of guy that truly, at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck about me analysing it to that extent.
So you're going to be emotional.
But there's always an exception to every rule. And for me, the exception is these cocksuckers. I despise these cunts. For 6 years, everyone has backed down to them. And this is what it's come to with these pricks. That last week I can come out cheer for fucking Warriors who are dirt. And this week come out cheer for Rinakama and his mates who are even bigger dirt than these cunts. But I'm going to do it because I don't give a shit.
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it, I'll break everything. All right, Dogs.
How are they going to win?
First of all, we can't suck. So let's just get that out of the way, and then we can proceed to the actual analysis. What do you have working in your favour? Number one, you're actually bigger underdogs than Warriors, which is something new. Warriors literally look like one of the worst teams in the league this last 6 weeks of this season. New Zealand's
a fortress.
There's no fortress when you're running out Tanner Boyd. All right? So let's just get that straight.
Okay.
And now Dogs, after trying for 24 straight months,
and 80 straight minutes in Melbourne,
they are considered worse than Warriors with what they're running out this weekend, which I think is factually wrong. Because I know if Dogs were playing Warriors today, without Stephen Crichton, Dogs would be at least probably fucking 2-point favourites, for God's sake. They're not... Well, they're going to put and pick him with Warriors. Wake up to yourselves. In saying that, so number one, they're not actually as bad as Warriors. But even though they're priced as to be worse than them.
Correct.
Number two, they have an extra day's rest, and it does somewhat come into the fold that, Penrith have to go all the way to New Zealand, play physically, demoralising kind of... Not demoralising, obviously, because they rape Warriors, but a physically strenuous and demanding game against those Warriors forwards that really fired up and took it to them in the middle of the park, and it wasn't easy, even though the scoreline doesn't show that. So the rest advantage is on the Bulldogs side. Number three, they actually did play okay last week, in my eyes. The scoreline reflected that until the Warbrick intercept. Watching the game in and of itself reflected that in my eyes of they actually hung in there even though heaps of shit went against them. So in my mind, last week was a good barometer of, look, Dogs, you can't have given up for the last 6 weeks of of this regular season. Even though you go out there with all your players, you still play like dirt every week. And are you just going to go to Melbourne and give up like you did to Manly last year? They answered the bell, even though they didn't win outright. They did.
Yeah, but they didn't give up last year either.
No, I know, but they may as well have with the way Cole walked through them.
Yeah, true.
So the way they actually fought tooth and nail and to lose to Melbourne by essentially 2 in my eyes is no fucking... I can't sneeze at that. And now they're kind of playing with house money because, well, they're 9.5 and Crichton's out and no one gives a fuck about them. And you know what? They're going to lose 20-0. They're going to lose 30-0, 40-0, 50-0. Serraldo's an idiot. Gus is an idiot. The club's shit. The Doggies fans don't even give a fuck about them. They shouldn't even be in the finals anymore. They're fucking imploding. They got Galvin when they shouldn't have. Sexton's actually their savior. Burton, he can't play. Sure, all right. All of those things might be true. Can you guys go out and have a go and fucking shock someone for once in your miserable lives?
House money. Okay.
Yeah, it's house money. No, look,
it's
not from you because there's no money from you. You're going to scream at them. But the rest of the world, who the fuck this round is going to go out and still make a claim for Dogs?
The same motherfuckers that said these guys going to win a premiership when they were 9-0. How?
Mate,
no.
Mate, genuinely, those same motherfuckers, shout out to you, Chris Crius, 3 games in from Galvin when they started playing like that, what were they saying?
Yeah.
What were they saying?
The shit.
They're like, oh, fuck, it's a building year.
Yeah,
So even they've given up.
Yeah, but like...
So outside of Matt, who's cheering for these cunts?
No one.
Exactly.
But that's their own fault. They're the ones. We have to come out and back our own takes and back the garbage in all these fucking sports and watch bullshit go against us. Take some fucking accountability for your rubbish team and what they've become. They were 9-0. They've literally 10-point dogs from first place. Imagine telling me this. Penrith were last. These cunts were first. And now you cunts are 10-point underdogs to them. With 2 players out who hypothetically could both play. That is insane.
That is insane.
That's how bad they are.
Second to this, we saw these teams play each other probably at a point of the season where Dogs were starting to begin their landslide. Penrith were starting to build their ascension and really go on that big winning streak. And we saw Dogs favoured in that game by 2 points.
Why?
Has enough happened from that point of the season, including Crichton going down, whereas they're pretty much completely healthy without him. Sexton didn't play that game, which... At this point, it's evident that he's God in sneakers and he can save these cunts. Yeah. Has enough happened from that point of the season where we came on in the review of that game saying Dogs won the forwards, Dogs won the majority of the game, they kicked longer, they tackled harder, they put more pressure on Penrith. Penrith only scored the garbage fucking charge down try. Penrith can't even score unless they score garbage, which they've proven time and time again. The game in Mudgee only scored garbage. The game in Melbourne only scored garbage. Last week, Penrith. Only outside of Papali's walkover try, only scored garbage. This is what these pricks do.
It's Penrith.
Right? So now, after only scoring garbage, Dogs still at this point of the season proving that defensively they're somewhat respectable. Has enough happened for me to now be like, oh, I'm just going to go lay 10.5 in the highest leverage game Dogs have played in, 8 years? I don't think so. So I'm going to make the case that I would actually rather take the points with Dogs knowing that all the things that I just listed are going in their favour. On the Penrith side, you can't say that annoying that you're going to go cover 10.5 with Blaze Talangi again.
Yeah, they are.
And Summerton.
Yeah.
And Schneider on the bench.
Yep.
Like, if that happens, sure. Just, okay. Sure. You're the best team of all time.
Yeah. No, they're not.
I'll eliminate this podcast off the face of the earth. And next year, the preseason review can be like, all right, Penrith, you can't say the greatest team of all time. Sure.
No, but look.
What's there to say? What the fuck's the point of me coming on this podcast being like, whoa, fuck, Raiders look pretty good? Just for them to completely implode so that these motherfuckers can go and beat Brisbane anyway without Carrigan.
No.
What's the point?
No. There's death coming. A lot of people like to preempt things. Everyone thinks, yeah, this week is going to happen. This week's the week of rape. Next week is the week that the knife finally goes into these cunts' back once and for all. Revenge is on their mind. I have no, sympathy, no empathy for this Dogs team at all. They've done it to themselves. And, I didn't think we'd get to this point. These cunts are treated like Manly. Manly would be 10.5 at home.
I have a take that's going to actually infuriate you. You might walk off the set. But this is truly what I believe.
Here they come.
The way I envision this game playing out, I feel like it's going to be similar to when Para and Penrith used to meet in the finals. They would fucking kill each other in the middle of the park. And I know you hold that Para team to a very high standard. And you intrinsically in your heart of heart think Dogs are cats.
They are.
But I genuinely think this is going to be the war of the weekend and no one sees.
This
game, honestly, in my eyes, I think this game will actually be closer wire to wire than the Sharks game. I don't think Penrith are going to just walk out there and jump to a 12-0 lead.
No, I think they will.
I don't think Penrith can score that easily. That they've proven to me throughout the course of the season their attack is not what it used to be. And on the other side, Dogs, as garbage as they've been, and 6s and 7s the entire season, at the end of the year still finished, top 3 defensively. Only conceded 18 to Sharks outside of the error try. Only conceded 18 to Melbourne, who one of them was a fucking pick 6.
But it's Penrith.
I don't think Penrith can get more than 22.
They'll score 30 on this team.
I guarantee you they won't score 30.
No, they'll score 30. It's Dogs.
So
they'll give up.
that, in my mind, breaks it down to, can Dogs go and score fucking 3 converted tries?
No.
I think they can.
Nah. I'm giving them 1 because they have the Australian future New South Wales captain. Other than that, where? Who? Tell me who's going to score. Pick a try scorer.
The left edge is dangerous.
Who?
Kick out and Burton.
No, it's not.
How's that not dangerous?
Not when Penrith know exactly what these cunts can do. It's not like you're playing, Burton and Kickow used to do this at Penrith, and maybe they'll do the same at Dogs.
My mum knows what they're going to do. That's fine. That doesn't mean they can stop it.
I think they can.
No.
What do you think Ivan's going to teach these cunts through? Just stop that, and these cunts can't score. They're going to go right to fucking...
Preston's there.
0.
I'm telling you.
Potentially 0.
I'm telling you, when Sexton's there, they're not the, misconstructed pile of turd.
But they're going to be... On top of that, they're lifeless. They're just
They're not.
They're running out there just because they have to in front of the 70,000
people. They genuinely are. I think they're actually excited at the opportunity to play Penrith.
Yeah, they're excited, huh? I'll show you excitement. When they have to come on, when we have to come on here and you see the score right here, 30-6, that's what will saw excitement.
I'm gonna go Dogs full time. 20-16, they're gonna win.
And they're
gonna go to Brisbane and then give up. The Penrith dynasty will end this weekend.
Nah.
Watch.
I think the dynasty, they're favourites in Brisbane when we come back on this podcast.
They're not going to make it there.
They will make it. They will be favourites in Brisbane. Not that they're going to win that game, and you'll get my views on that, but I see nothing from this Dogs team. I'd rather Manly, I'd rather Para, I'd rather South, I'd rather Roosters. I reckon I'd rather Cronulla, I'd rather Raiders, again. Brisbane, of course, Melbourne, of course. There's literally only a few teams I wouldn't want in the spot. Titans, Knights, Dragons. No, I would want Dragons because I know they'll fire up.
Wake up.
Cowboys I wouldn't want. They're retarded. Literally, there's only 3-4 teams I would want less than Dogs in this spot. Warriors, yeah, with them as well because they're shit. Would I take Dolphins plus 10 against Penrith in a finals game? Yeah, of course. I know they can score. I know that Dolphins may concede 40, but they will put 30 on this team.
Nah, fuck that. I'd rather Dogs.
Nah.
At least Dogs can keep Penrith to 18 or 22.
Yeah, congratulations. When you
better.
score 0, it's not my problem.
They won't score 0.
0.
Kick the Carraz.
6. 6.
Now, obviously, earlier you mentioned there's a hypothetical scenario. So I want to just
talk
about Stephen Crichton for 5 minutes. And this is the part that actually bothered me about Dogs the most. So there's...
It's all right. You don't have to hold them. You can burn it. You can burn it if they lose.
They've obviously named Stephen Crichton on the extended bench after suffering what we believe is a syndesmosis injury for those motherfuckers out there. And
honestly,
I never thought getting in the content creation realm would open me up to just such
stupidity.
Yeah, I know. That obviously Chris posted a reel this morning being like, what the fuck are you guys doing naming Crichton? And the avalanche of comments of, oi brah, how do you know if he's injured or not? Because he didn't fucking play last week after he got hurt. And if he was not injured, he would have continued playing.
And they might have won.
And he was in a fucking moon boot at the airport, cunt. That's how we know, you fucks. Anyway.
And they might have won.
Now that he's named, okay, he has healing properties, sure. Hypothetical one, he plays somehow, and he gets re-injured. That's where I will just come and hand over to this guy, and I'll walk off the set and just maybe block my ears of what's going to be said at Sorrel
that it's going to be volume down, holy fuck.
Which is just something it's fucking despicable. Number 2, he plays unscathed and they lose.
Who cares?
Thank you so much. Great. Number 3, he plays, they somehow win, and he goes to Brisbane as an amputee the following week. To what? Then go and win that, and then off a 6-day turnaround, go as an amputee of both legs into the grand final. Okay, sure.
The 6-day turnaround again.
Yeah. And number 4, which is the most infuriating one.
But there's a fourth?
This is all smoke and mirrors and he doesn't play, which I believe is 99% probability.
That's the dumbest.
And in my eyes, who the fuck do you guys think you are playing smoke and mirrors at this point of the season? Trying to be tricky of like, we'll let him think that, maybe Crichton will play. And do you think Penrith are going to be like shaking? And fuck, is he playing or is he not playing, bro? How about you cunts worry about your own fucking backyard and play some proper footy for once? Since round 6, you cunts play like dirt. And now you're thinking, oh, fuck, well, Crichton or is it Crichton or Montoya, bro? Wake up to yourself.
I want them all to play. And then lose.
I want none of them to play and they win.
That would be more entertaining. That would be more entertaining.
Anything for these cunts to get out of this competition.
It's right there. You actually I might need to get one as well. For next podcast. If it's Penrith Brisbane.
I will drink everything out of the toilet water for these cunts to get these pricks out of here. On the Penrith side, look.
I don't care.
Just
go weird.
Maybe the analysis has been one side. That's not my fucking... There's nothing to say about these cunts, all right? They go out, they're AI generated, they don't make mistakes, they don't make errors, they play to structure, they play through the middle of the park, they strangle you like a fucking snake until you run out of oxygen, and then once they get down the other side of the field, again, they don't make errors, Cleary kicks you into your fucking in-goal, every short dropout you get, you never get it because they have Penrith jerseys on, and eventually either they'll score through structure of you being so fatigued that you can't stop them, they'll score off a ricochet kick, grab a garbage try, or you'll make a knock on your 5-meter line and they'll score off that. And once they score one try, you get into your... It's like playing Kansas City when they were good, or playing Golden State when Steph goes hits 4 threes in a quarter, where you're like,
all right, we'll give it.
We hung in there for 20 minutes, it's too hard, we can't beat these guys, we'll just fucking roll over. And sides 10 times better than Bulldogs have played these cunts and back down to them in the same way. Brisbane was doing cartwheels in their end zone. 10 minutes later, when Moses Leota scored, they were like...
Yeah, I know.
Harry Grant walked into their try line in the last grand final. As soon as fucking Liam Martin scored, they were like, fuck. Even though we averaged 36 points for the whole season, we're not going to score again. We didn't even get down the fucking 20-meter line of these cocksuckers. Who else?
Name it.
Para, they weren't even a team by the time they got there. But you know what? In fairness to Para, who the fuck was going to beat them that day? So if Penrith play their best, sure, they're going to win. Fair play to them. I got nothing bad logically or rationally to say about Penrith because, as I said, they're the greatest side, not even of the modern era. Bring any cunt you want from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I don't give a fuck. Penrith are better than all those cunts. So... Fuck it, dogs. Go throw the footy around, see what happens. You can't score anyway, so just legit try and get down there as often as you can playing like Penrith. Hope they drop it a couple of times and just peg the ball at kick out and Burton.
All I wish for is like 1 or 2 Burton bombs at least. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to do it now, just never do it again. Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah. Like...
Kick him at Alamonte, he'll drop one.
Yeah.
Like... Who's going to catch that shit?
Alamotti on Carraz. Like, this kind of apparently can outlead Xavier Coates, so we'll see if he can outleap him. Legit, I would just go down to the 10-meter line and just peg it at kick out and Burton every single set until they score. And if they don't score, fuck it. It's better than going right.
Yeah, right.
Unless Crichton's there, then I'm lost, at a loss for words. But anyway, I think I made a pretty good case why... Wait for game day, you'll get 10.5. No one's going to back these cons. They're fucking awful. If you get 10.5, I think that's...
8.
I'll take 8. I'll take 8. If Critter plays, I'll take 6.5. Genuinely, because I really, the way I envision this game playing is not like 16-0 and I have to sweat for a Dogs backdoor cover. I think it'll be more like the Melbourne game. It will be try for try. There won't be that many points scored. It'll be unders-a-thon, and these guys are going to kill each other until one of them blinks. I hope it's Penrith somehow.
I disagree, but we'll see.
But either way, I feel like in your mind, I'm going to play scenarios for you. If Raiders get blown out, are you going to come scream at them?
No.
If Sharks get blown out, are you going to come scream at them?
No.
If Penrith get blown out, are you going to scream at them?
No.
I agree with you on all three. The only cunts I'll scream at is,
Dogs.
For me, even though they're the biggest underdogs and they have the least expectation, 100%. Which was my earlier point, if you cunts go and lose by
20 plus,
more than if you lose 13 plus, you're fucking
disgrace.
You literally should be renamed as the Canterbury Sharks.
Yeah,
of the last 3 years where Sharks kept making the top 4 and getting bagged out for not beating top 4 sides, even though they did beat them at least in the regular season. You cunts for 2 years of trying, coming 6th and 3rd.
Yeah.
The only win on your resume is the Raiders one.
Well, they've beaten 2 teams in the top 8 right now.
Yeah.
Cronulla and Raiders.
Okay. The Cronulla one, who cares?
Again, that was the biggest underdog. They didn't have players and they won. Bro, Tigers have 2 wins against the top 8.
I know. Last year, who did they beat last year? Anyone?
They probably beat teams in the 8. I remember they beat
didn't
Sharks.
beat Penrith or Melbourne.
They beat Sharks. And that stupid Burden game.
Field, yeah.
They beat Cowboys, which doesn't count because it's Cowboys.
They didn't even beat Cowboys. They lost them.
No, the first time.
No, the Cowboys won by 1.
No, what's it called game? That was the year before, maybe.
Yeah.
I just haven't beaten them. And
they get how many times did they go? Oh, they beat Brisbane when
they beat Brisbane.
That was the good one, right? But
yeah.
Actually, Brisbane didn't even make the 8 last year.
Yeah, they didn't make it. So they beat Melbourne. No, they didn't beat Melbourne and Melbourne. They almost beat.
They beat
them.
Roosters this year.
They lost to them as well.
Yeah.
So 3.
And they lost to them more convincingly. So at some point, I'm not even asking you guys. I won't scream if you lose by 2 or 4 or 6. No one's going to scream at you, cunts. But
if you get pumped,
if you lose 13 plus, it's just like
disaster.
You're put in the Sharks bracket of all right. From now, even if you go 26-0 next year, I don't give a fuck until the finals comes. I don't care. I don't care how many weeks you try and beat Dragons and Tigers. I'm good.
Doesn't mean anything.
Until you win a high leverage game, it doesn't mean shit. But I believe in you, Canterbury and Matt and Chris and Tiam. Let's fucking go, boys. If you're with me, I want to hear who let the dogs out in the chat below. Let's fucking go. Because I need some fucking reinforcements.
To stop them.
I hate these cunts. Anyway, you're 4 fucking whatever.
2 takeaways.
What are you most intrigued for each team this weekend? I guess we can put it down that way.
I think Sharks Raiders is just going to be a great game. So for Raiders, I'm intrigued to see how you guys bounce back if there is one. Regardless of what happens, you've had a great year and you've beaten a lot of teams. And Dogs wish you guys they beat as many teams as these cunts did. So shout out to Canberra. They've done it throughout the whole year. Do I think a loss? I won't scream at them. Maybe if they get hammered, maybe, but you shouldn't get hammered. This should be a close one. Sharks literally play the same way. You play like you did last week. I can't see I can't see Raiders scoring that many points, and you can score points at the other end, especially with their right edge and the left edge and how Trindle's playing. So let's see how that happens, and the bench is going to be so important for Cronulla. Dogs, there's nothing like. I don't have any expectations. If you can't win, I'll come praise you. If you lose in any capacity, especially if you lose by 2, it's probably going to be shit review because it's just the same garbage. Penrith win off some bullshit. We'll say Dogs have some resolve and you can't fuck off and laters. If they get hammered, I'm saving it for the review because I think it will happen. And Penrith, there is really nothing to say. You win, lose, or draw. Lose, will probably be very cheerful and happy. But intrinsically, you are a 7th place team, and we'll go back to you cunts were never that good. You couldn't win with McLean and Talangi and shit. I know you will kill them.
Once they get eliminated, I will not say one bad word about these cunts.
Okay, all right.
They could go and lose 60-0 to Dogs.
Yeah.
You know what? You can't make 5 grand finals in a row. I have nothing bad to say.
Yeah, okay.
Just fuck off for one year.
Yeah, anyway.
Straight out.
And if Penrith win, I truly think I'll get the greatest prelim final ever.
Until they fucking go and win it.
Both prelims will be fantastic if it ends up the way I'm saying, that Sharks win and Penrith win.
Yeah.
Because
because
Sharks they would.
I don't think
Raiders Melbourne will be great, but I just don't know what iteration of Raiders we'll get, and I don't think even if they beat Sharks, they're still one going to be fatigued and 2 they probably have more fatigue than Sharks, which is incredible, but they probably will.
I kind of disagree with you. I feel like if they get past Sharks, then they're we're one win away. That gives you hope. Yeah. But the Sharks one is just the mental hurdle, which is really fucked.
Yeah, true.
But I'm going Sharkies and Bulldogs. What are you going? Sharkies and
Penrith.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't fault that, mate. On my side, Bulldogs. I'm just looking for some fucking
hope.
I'm looking for a result. I don't want hope. I don't want effort. I don't want energy. I want you cunts to go out and win. That's all I fucking.
You want Critter?
I don't want even a Christmas present from fucking Santa Claus this year. Just get these pricks out. Get them the fuck out at any costs, except Critter's leg. We like him. Penrith, I don't give a fuck, really. I'm a footy fanatic at the end of the day, so if you go and dismantle Dogs, there will be 1% of me who'll be like, holy fuck, they're so good. And it's just
Yeah, but you will still cheer for All Blacks.
Yeah, obviously. But I guess what I'll be looking for, like, I can never complain by watching good footy, and that's what Penrith dish out.
Yeah, but
so
they're
fair
not going
play
to
to
play
them.
good footy to beat this team.
They're going to
I
play
know.
good fundamental footy
Yeah,
where
I
they complete
know.
it 99%
Yeah.
and then kick ricochet into Alamoti's nutsack. Sharkies, how confident are you guys? Do you have the arrogance
Go
to
Hines.
waltz into Canberra? Because the dynamic has been, if you win it, if you play at Shark Park for most of this year, it doesn't matter who's coming to town, you win. And as soon as you pack your bags and go to an opposition stadium, you play like garbage. So is this the exception to the rule? I hope so, for the sake of having a good finals game. Raiders, how much ticket do you boys have to back up a 95-minute thriller in Manila to go and rape Sharks? If you have it in you, I feel like anything's
Sharks
possible once you get to the prelim, but getting there is going to be tough, and I'm rolling with the Sharkies. So that's all in this iteration of the Back Yourself podcast. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate the support because, I mean, you do fucking nothing for us outside of that. And Bulldogs, who let the dogs out? Will we be playing Jaws music? Will I be sculling milk again? Probably not. And
What, you wouldn't skull milk?
will I
if
have
they
to
wouldn't?
fucking hold this and be like, yes,
I'll
yes, you're so
I'll
good.
get you a cup of milk inside of it.
I'll spit in this before I put milk in there. Peace out, gentlemen. Enjoy the footy. Let's
Peace.
Oge.